Hi everyone, I'm Emily. I'm a product marketer here at Snowflake, and today I'm so excited to be joined by Satish. Welcome, Satish. How are
Thank
you?
you. Thanks for inviting me. I'm good.
Great. So, wanted to chat with you about a couple things. There's so much going on at Summit in your product space as well. So let's start off. Can you share a little bit about yourself and Elysium?
Sure. Yeah. My name is Satish Abburi. I'm a CTO and founder for Elysium Analytics. Uh, our company does basically the main areas is log search and security cloud analytics. That's what we do, and we run it on Snowflake Security Data Lake.
Wonderful.
So, and just to add to this one, we run all our workload within the Snowflake Security Data Lake, and I'm proud to say that we got finalist in the last Snowflake Startup Challenge.
That's such an exciting
Yeah.
aspect. We have our startup challenge again. I hope you come in on Thursday to see this year's finale.
Sure.
But you're in such an important space, and it's a space that's really changing right now. I mean, Snowflake just launched a cybersecurity workload.
Yes.
We're seeing so many different shifts and dynamics. Can you walk through some of the customer pain points and trends that you're seeing right now?
Yeah, one of the main thing, as a lot of people are talking, it's not the first time I'm saying it, but now the security is a data problem because data is growing exponentially, and what's adding this one is basically the digital transformation, and as part of that, all the organizations are moving to the cloud, which basically the log generation is just exponentially growing. And with the SaaS application adoption, the data is creating bunch of silos now. So on the legacy SIMs are struggling to capture all the logs, and what customers are trying to do is basically what is the logs I can collect,
Yeah.
and they're doing a trade-off, which basically exposing a cybersecurity risk, right? It's like a knife at the both problems. You want to digitize and same time you want to save the cost, so you can't do the both. So I think that's where the biggest problem I'm seeing a lot of companies going through.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's totally a catch-22. It's a trade-off you don't want to be making.
Yeah.
So tell me, where does Elysium come in? What makes you different?
Yeah, I think the first foremost thing is basically, as I said, security is a data problem, and we basically build on top of Snowflake. It's not like just storing the data after processing. We basically 100% in Snowflake, which gives a complete elasticity and the operations, zero operations, which connects to the security problem. Now you enable all the customers to collect all the data. There's no trade-off needed.
Yeah.
Get all the data, and you can analyze all the data. So that is the biggest thing. And just dumping the data into the data lake doesn't solve all the problem. So that's where Elysium comes in. We operationalize the data lake to analytics data lake by applying the data model to that one. That is the key thing. A lot of people don't recognize that one. Oh, let's dump the data as a data lake. We can start using it. You cannot use the data unless you have a very good, strong information model to that one.
Yeah.
That's the open data model we basically attach. And then you build you enable the companies to build fast analytics, and we have a bunch of analytics out of the box. On top of that, it's not just analytics. We also have a search utility or product built in. So now you basically can explore all the data in the security data lake, and you don't need a SQL for it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You just do a search, a string, and you start seeing all the query results for that one. That's the power of the search we have on the data. So this is not something a lot of people have it. It's not easy to, once you have dumped the data in the data lake, it's not easy way to search it. That's what we enable it. Yeah.
That's great to hear. I mean, I like the point that's really resonating with me that I've heard from other customers around this pain point is this idea of okay, the first step is my data siloed.
Yes.
Let's bring it together.
Yes.
But I like your articulation of that isn't enough. You need to be able to get people to take action on it.
Yes. Just to add one more thing,
Yeah.
as I said, legacy SIMs are struggling, right? So that's what we want to take this data lake to all the customers, irrespective of what SIM they have. So there are products which they want to replace the SIMs, and customers not easy for them to replace existing SIM because they are so much tight and workflows and all the stuff.
Yeah.
We just want to complement that by, at the same time, we want to modernize their platform to a data lake platform. That's how we can augment that one. We recently released a Splunk add-on for it. So now all the Splunk customers can leverage the security data lake on Snowflake
Got it.
using Elysium.
Wonderful.
That's a big thing,
Yeah.
right? You can minimize the cost on the Splunk. Now you can, the main thing, as I said, now the customers can collect all the logs. If you cannot load on the Splunk, you can load on Elysium through Snowflake, and still you can see the data in the Splunk. That's the beauty of it.
That's wonderful. So I have to ask you, for folks who tuned in or watched the stream, We just did our main keynote. We announced native applications. You, though, have known about native applications for a while. Satish and Elysium have been one of the early adopters in private preview, building one of the first native applications on Snowflake.
Yes.
Can you share more about kind of what your native application is and also why you chose to build one? What was exciting about it for you?
Yeah, I mean, as I'm somehow I fell in love with Snowflake from day one. So even though like Snowflake is not built for the interactive thing, I strongly believe they are going to support it and I build the application for it. Now today they announced the interactivity and the fast analytics, right? That's how we build closer relation with the Snowflake engineering team. And when they start with the native app, they approach us and they say like, no, of course. Because the thing is, Snowflake has a pretty good ecosystem, a lot of customers, and we want to get the apps close to the data, right? So now we don't need to manage all the application on our application tier. Now if I can deploy that application with a native app, now it's available for all the Snowflake customers, right? I don't need to market more, I don't need to worry about like maintaining that one. And the good thing is Snowflake is also managing the monetization part of it, right? What else I can want, right? I can just deploy it and I want to build more apps.
Yeah.
So we just launched today, like as part of this program, like a full text search app, native app. Now what that gives is basically like, any Snowflake customer storing the log data in the Snowflake, they can just search like that.
Wow.
With just a simple search string on the native app, they can start seeing all the results.
And what's so powerful, I imagine, is, again, it's not a customer who needs to move their data to get access to this.
Yes.
They're bringing the app to themselves, to their data, and it's running there.
And as Unmesh showed in the keynote, like, you don't need to install anything. It's just like a couple of clicks on the marketplace, and it's basically like, pulling your data and showing the data. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And so before we head out, if folks are interested in learning more about Elysium or about your native app, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
I mean, please come to our website, elysiumanalytics.ai, and you can just click a contact form. I know we'll cut in touch with you in minutes.
Wonderful.
So,
all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for being one of our earliest builders.
I'm really glad for you inviting us here. I really appreciate that one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.